What is going on, everybody? My name is Flame078. Welcome back to the channel, or hello if you're new. Welcome. New season, a new ranked, same exact journey. Today's installment of my road to Apex Predator, or realistically my road to Diamond, since, you know, I can't really get to Predator yet. But anyways, I want to cover all my wins leading up to Platinum, since Platinum is what I honestly consider where the real grind truly begins, since Platinum is a rank where I can consistently get to. Let's review on why and how I won some of these matches, talk about the things I did right, maybe some of the things that went wrong, and overall just discuss how you can improve and learn and grow in your Apex Legends ranked journey. These are casual tips for the casual gamer, as I think we have a different struggle when it comes to this mode. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I really hope you smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and make sure notifications are on so that way you know when my next tip video drops. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so tell me how you feel when you encounter enemy after enemy with no shields and, you know, 2 Mozambiques or 2 bad guns for the longest time. What if even when you do have a good gun, that gun barely has any ammo and maybe you have 1 or 2 clips with you? Well, the start of this match was definitely very stressful for me, but you know, the important thing I want to stress here is patience. Throughout the match, I was constantly aware, looking around, moving carefully to stay alive, shooting where I could, shooting to try to help my teammates as best as I can, and you know, securing some kills and damage, and you know, we were just trying to stay alive. So fighting without meds really does put you in a bind. And this showed, because after a while you go down, you're like, you sink into this mode where can you survive? You're seeing yourself go down, your second teammate goes down, it's up to the last guy down to the wire. You see his health goes down by pretty much to a sliver, and then next thing you know, he secures it. He's got it in the bag. But look at that, I noticed that our Wattson decided to bail, thinking he wasn't going to make it. Well, it is what it is. Sometimes you don't give up, right? Don't give up until you see that squad eliminated coming up on your screen, because you never know. And then coming up, you're really gonna see why you should never give up like that. But we survived this hectic kind of first half of the fight, first half of the match. We're getting to the top 10, get some KP as we get to the first ring. Awesome sauce, we are good to go. But it's me and Mirage, so we have to be really careful. And then this mid game ended up really slow for the most part, so which I didn't mind considering we were down a person. But I know a lot of people at this stage, when the middle game gets really slow, people lose a lot of patience. I encourage you, don't lose patience. We end up at the end game, I find myself a Kraber, and you know, with 4 squads left, you know, 3 other teams we needed to fight, I was unsure what to expect. This kind of zoning was, you know, really interesting. I'm like, this could get chaotic really fast, but it turns out that, you know, it was 3 solos, and then that put me at ease, hitting my Kraber shots, getting that Bangalore kill, being just able to just honestly at this point just wait it out and find a nice little rat spot for, you know, us solo players, where you end up there trying to get the most RP you can. I felt bad for this Caustic, but you know, it had to happen to him. He had to die because we had to grab that victory. We came out from the clutches of death, and you know, again, never quit as long as someone is alive. That is the message of this match, baby. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this match had a lot of success coming from smart positioning, taking fights at good angles, and we're gonna start with taking fights in Mirage Voyage. You know, the best place in my opinion to fight, not on drop, but you know, on drop is a 50-50, but in a rotation when you're going into it, perfect, because of how secluded it is. You know, if you time it well, you can be the third party that cleans up all those leftover enemies, and then by the time everything settles down, you are ready for that team that drops on us, just like it happens here. A third party tries to come in and we are able to clean up because we are ready. So honestly, here fighting a Mirage Voyage is all about timing, so big keep in mind of that. So rotating out of that and landing smartly is really key. We land out and we go into our next fight, and as we're fighting this team, I start getting shots from, you know, the drop ship And this is where it's important to understand where they're coming from, because obviously they're cutting our pathway, or our closest pathway, to get into the zone. So we're doing our best to clean up this current team that we're fighting with, minimizing our shots. Our caustic goes down because of that third party, but luckily we're able to get everything back up. We're able to survive, and I take the opportunity to rotate long because it's the first early ring. I'm not really too concerned about dying to ring, so I rotate long to be able to avoid that team, because the last thing I wanted was to rotate into the team that was firing on us with sniper rifles. So don't be afraid to do solo things like that, to rotate like that. The rest of the match after fighting is a little bit slow. Again, a lot of these matches have slow moments in them, and then we move on to fighting this team that just placed a res. And as Wraith, I'm trying to position ourselves to really get into an advantageous position, and that turns out that our enemy Wraith is trying to get out. So what ends up happening here is I take the initiative for myself to follow the enemy's portal and stay kind of really away from my two teammates. My two teammates are right now currently fighting definitely a 3v2, and during this time they're not expecting that, and you can clearly see as this caustic is retreating into the area where I was at, he was not expecting me to be there. Boom, I clean everything up, and it just ends up nicely. So it's, again, think about how you can position yourself to kind of pincer teams and being able to give yourself success in that way. After a while, this Devo and 30-30 combo is killing it. I'm doing lots of damage, being able to keep my distance. It was really, really nice. And going into the last fight, I'm seeing the ability to take this building. We have caustic. I'm thinking we have caustic. Let's take advantage of that. So I get on the roof. My team doesn't really follow, but that's okay, because the position I'm at allows me to continue applying pressure and have visual to hit the enemy. But also, if I'm getting hit, I can easily retreat and be safe, because I know I have some time before they can close the gap. So this match was really all about angles of pressure and securing it, and that's how we got this sweet victory for this match. So you really never know how the first fights go, but they can always go from 0 to 1,000 super fast. One thing to learn is to back off at the right moment. Sometimes you can take the fight after a fight and try to just secure the kills and die, but others you're just asking yourself to really get eliminated early. And this is what happened with us. We managed to get some good damage, knock a couple of teams, knock a couple of players, but with really no meds and more enemies literally on us, the best thing that we could do was retreat. One of the many reasons I enjoy using Bloodhound is to get eyes where we are not looking. Always take advantage of Bloodhound and scan in an area you're not looking. So if you're looking in front of you, scan behind you, because obviously you can see what's in front of you, but the scan is crucial to ensure you're not about to get surprised on. And you never know, in ranked, after crazy fights, you might find a straggler or two coming up behind you trying to stay alive, and then there you go. That's where that easy KP comes in, as long as you keep mindful that you need a scan behind you. So just make sure to use those extra pair of eyes that Bloodhound gives you. Though sometimes in the chaos things don't go as planned, and it helps being saved by smart teammates. We are having constant fights, going back and forth. You see when you go into the ultimate, just constantly scanning, always want to scan, giving that information to your teammates. But even if you get knocked down, good timing allows you to reset, and you just have to keep going at it and just keep thinking about that, putting yourself in a position where you can just do the most damage but decrease the damage that happens on you. And it got kind of crazy this match where one scan literally gave me more than 10 plus, and I'm like, holy crap, that's so many people. But the key thing is to stay calm and stay focused on what you can do. Again, the strength of Bloodhound is that battle information. So that's always key. Use it, so be prepared for all the third parties that may happen. heading towards the end of the match. We're ending up pretty much right outside of Repulsor. I forget that little area right there. You see a team shooting us up from that watchtower. We're like, ah, great, we have a team right in front of us, and that team is fighting another team, so it's kind of getting clustered. But my main concern is this team that is sniping at us. They do a good revolt push. The team that's close by, they can get down our Gibby, and it's just a matter of time before, you know, we kind of get in a bad spot where we're running away from this team and that other sniping team is going to get us. But sometimes luck is on your side. For whatever reason, that team decided to give up their position where we had to rotate to anyways to engage on those enemies that were fighting in the cavern, giving us the opportunity not only to reset, but to pretty much be the ones applying pressure, securing kills, securing assists, all while having the zone to our backs and having our backs very, very free. So that's kind of clutch. But my thing here is, just because that happened doesn't mean it's always going to happen. So, you know, you always got to think about what you would do. Like my situation, my thought process was, I need to be able to just avoid this team at all costs, so that way I can engage them better. But luckily that didn't happen that way, and we secure the bag, and boom, there's another W for the books. So this last match that got me into Platinum was interesting. It started slow and I got my gear really fast. You know, ended up rocking an R99 and flat 9 combo, something I really have been enjoying these last couple of matches that I've been playing Apex. And I definitely recommend you trying. It gives you this nice versatility for mid-range, you know, single fire with a flat line, and then up close with the R99. Our first fight was nice because it was a really well-timed third party, and though I didn't get any kills, I got 2 assists off that, which is important because you always want that sweet KP. But then, you know, it goes slow again for a while, and you know, we take this opportunity to scavenge the loot boxes, all the bodies around, and notice the mobile respawn beacon. Keep that in mind for later. But overall, we're just kind of sitting idly. I managed to tell my Bloodhound to come scan this beacon to give us information on where this circle is going to end, and it looks like this circle is going to end up on top of us, and it looks like it is going to be an artillery finish, just based on my my experience of understanding ring patterns. Another thing I recommend always doing if you have a recon, a legend, is just that. Understand where the circle is going to go, start working on your prediction so that way you can set up yourself, because a lot of times all of this is a matter of chess, placing yourself in good positions to take good fights. But eventually another team does drop on us, and we're doing our you know, our back and forth. We're doing damage with the anvil, flatline, and you know, I'm trying to use Revenant to block off those points, especially at that broken high area of artillery, using my silence to block away paths, so that way we keep them at a distance and, you know, kind of stay in a good spot. My Bloodhound goes down and gets a little extra, you know, going up in personal. He managed to get a couple of people down, but the third party does bring him down. But this is where that mobile respawn beacon comes in, because I remembered while looting in that initial fight in the back that we could just go into his back and bring him back right here, and then my teammate has an assortment of stuff to gather. So luckily Horizon was on the same page, and that was really nice. So we got that, we get our Bloodhound back, and boom, we are all good to go. Again, like this match, it was a little bit slow, but it was also a lot of just jabbing and distance fighting and poking around and engaging and disengaging. There was really no full commits for a while until endgame, pretty much, for any of the teams. And this is where I kind of wish my shots were a little bit better, because I got really lucky. I'm pushing with my Horizon this team. I managed to knock down someone, but I'm kind of panicking. I'm not really aiming really well. Also, the server was kind of being buggy. I was like lagging out a little bit. So instead of securing the kills, the 2 kills I could have gotten, I think I only got the 1. But overall, you know, I was just lucky. My teammate has a gold bag, we get back up, but I die again because I wasn't really in a good position from, you know, rotating in. The other team, the last team, gets me out, but you know, my teammates, my Horizon, my Bloodhound do the work. They clean up nicely, and boom, we secure the bag. Max KP, another clutch W, and this win right here gets us to Platinum 4, which is something we've been working towards, so that way we can really get to where we need to go, and that is Diamond. Okay, look at that. We made it to platinum. Isn't that exciting? Finally, the true journey starts. Well, what are the takeaways? Again, most wins will take time. I said this in my previous video, and just to reiterate, most of my wins take around 20 minutes. So if you play about 2 hours, that's 3 wins per hour. That's 6 wins to ensure you could possibly have the max RP you could get out of your session. So I recommend trying to shoot for increasing the amount of wins you can do per session. It's not going to happen. It'll be a slow process. So this would be something I recommend, but don't stress over it. And I think it's better to just keep track of everything, keep track of where your placement is, how much KP you're racking up per match, and focus on that part specifically. Focus on improving how much KP you can muster within your matches. First, focus on how much KP you can get by the middle of the match. By top 10, you want to try to have 1 to 2, and you want to be rounding out matches with around 3 to 4 KP consistently, right? That's what you kind of want to shoot for. So that way, when you do hit those top 5 situations, those top 3s, top 2s, you're just gonna be benefiting from the bonus, right? And then you're gonna get a decent chunk of RP even if you don't win. So especially as a solo queue player, this I highly stress this as a solo queue player. But locking down a tight time frame with a short goal is the best way to challenge yourself. I said this in a previous video. Grinding ranked is all about your skill to time ratio. Either you have the skill to maximize your time, whether that be long or short, or you have the time to make up for your lack of skill. And ideally, I want to encourage you to focus on your skill, because that is something you can control. If you try to think that time is going to be your friend, that's not really the right way to go, because time is not something you should bank on, because time is not something you can truly control. Sure, you can lock down a long session, a long block for you to play, but what if something comes up and you can't play that? Are you going to blame the time that you didn't have, that you didn't rank up? No, just focus on your skill. And if you improve your skill, regardless of the time, you're going to see improvement, and you're going to be able to capitalize on making progress regardless of time. When it comes to legends, just experiment. I'll be breaking down each legend, so kind of stay tuned for that, and I'll be breaking down guns so that way it can help you choose which legend will be for you to have the most fun and to have the most success in Apex Legends Ranked. Stay positive, be patient, and be willing to learn and make mistakes. I hope this video gives you pointers on how to improve on your ranked journey. Let me know how it goes, and we can chat about it live when I go live on Twitch Monday and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, adios.